At age 16, most of us were thinking about games or exams. But today, some teenagers are running million-dollar businesses. No family inheritance, no extraordinary luck. No, this isn't empty motivational talk. It's a repeatable system with clear steps and a logic you can actually understand. In this video, I won't just give you an inspiring story that gets you excited for one day and then fades. I'll show you exactly the mindset behind it, the practical steps they followed, and how you, regardless of your age, can start the same path today. Stay with me until the end because the full practical plan comes in the middle of this video. First thing you need to understand, early wealth isn't luck or an accident. When we see a teenager succeed, our brain automatically looks for an easy explanation. Their family is rich, or they got lucky, or they found a rare opportunity. But if we look closely at the real stories, we find a completely different pattern. Most young millionaires didn't inherit money. They leveraged something adults often don't have: extra time and no fear of failure. A teenager doesn't have a mortgage, family obligations, or a professional reputation to protect. This gives them the freedom to try many ideas quickly and fail at them without real disaster. So the real difference isn't exceptional intelligence or talent. It's that they started early instead of waiting to feel ready. And this exact point is what separates someone who only dreams from someone who actually starts the mindset that makes the difference, thinking in terms of solving a problem instead of making money. Successful teens don't ask, "How do I profit?" They ask, "What problem can I solve for someone else?" Money becomes the result, not the direct goal. This shift sounds simple, but it's deep in practice. When you focus on how do I profit, you start looking for shortcuts and quick tricks that promise overnight riches. And these methods usually don't last. But when you focus on what problem am I solving, you start listening to people, noticing what they complain about and what they need but can't easily find. There's also a second important element in this mindset: treating failure as information, not as an ending. Every failed project, every video that didn't get views is actually free market data. The teenagers who succeeded didn't fail just once. They tried several ideas before finding what worked, and they didn't stop at the first failed attempt. Here's a 5-step plan anyone can apply, regardless of age or capital. First, pick one digital skill: design, video editing, basic coding, or marketing. And don't try to learn everything at once. Master one skill for a month or two through daily practice. Second, offer your service free to 3 people to build a real portfolio, which becomes your proof when you later start charging for your services. Third, start a small project with under $100 invested: a dropshipping store, a YouTube channel, or a freelance service, because the goal is to actually start, not wait for the perfect project. Fourth, reinvest every profit in the first few months instead of spending it, since this is what separates a project that grows gradually from one that stays stuck. And finally, document your journey on social media. Share what you're learning and your mistakes, since this builds an audience and trust and can become an extra income source itself. This pattern isn't theoretical. We've seen it repeat with young digital entrepreneurs and content creators worldwide who started with something very simple and then scaled gradually. What they all have in common: a small start and consistency, not one genius idea that changed everything overnight. But it's important I'm honest with you. This path isn't easy, and it's not free of obstacles. Most of these success stories hide months of attempts that didn't work, time lost trying wrong ideas, and sometimes small financial losses before reaching what actually works. There are also age-specific challenges. You may face difficulty opening bank accounts or using certain platforms before a certain age, and you may need a parent's help with some legal or financial matters. These aren't impossible obstacles, but they're a realistic part of the picture worth considering. So, is getting rich at 16 impossible? No. But it's not magic either. It's a clear system, one skill mastered, a real problem solved for someone else, a small start with reinvested profits, and consistency despite failure. If you've made it this far in the video, you're already more serious than most people who just watch without applying. You don't need to be a genius, and you don't need to wait for the perfect idea. You just need to start with one step today, no matter how small. Comment which of the 5 steps you'll start with this week. And if you want a deeper, more detailed plan on any specific step, subscribe to the channel. The next video will cover that in detail.